Welcome. In this video I'm going to look at Haliotis, commonly known as abalone shells. And I had filmed this family earlier, but I didn't have a commentary. And from comments people have made, most people seem to like a commentary, so I'll talk about a number of the shells. Now, one shell that dominates this draw is what's known as rubra. And there's quite a few here, different colours, rubra. I'm pointing to all the rubras that are here. A little collection over here. Interestingly, some of these are farmed shells, and the blue shells in each case are farmed abalone shells, and so too these quite attractive ones as well. The ones that I found myself in the wild, so to speak, are the ones that are less colourful. And that is very typical before the cleanup of what you would find of rubra. And the name would also suggest, of course, that red colouring. So an interesting shell, given that they are farmed, and interesting to see in the future how many other colour forms are actually developed. Now, some of my favourite abalones are down here. These are all Australian, if I didn't mention that before. Brasserie, quite an uncommon shell there. And next to that, Hargrave's Eye. And lovely elegance there. And yes, different ones, lots of varieties. It's not uncommon to, for instance, they're all from Kurnell in New South Wales. Variety of colours, variety of sizes. And talking about variety, there's Haliotidae varia. And so there's a variety of different types that I've collected from Northern Australia. So, interesting ones there. If you look at the next draw, probably the most collected in terms of collectors really being interested in getting them is Scaleris. Beautiful shell and beautiful interior, and in terms of the sculpture, I mean, it's just glorious. The sculpture on those shells, and you can get them browns through to reds. Alright, this particular one, there's quite a variety here. In fact, I wanted to show you some colour forms of Cyclobates. So there's a couple of different colours, and I'll bring over another one. Yes, you can see the different colours coming through there, which is quite common amongst the abalone shells. And in here we have our largest species, which is Conocopora, and they grow to about 20 centimetres. So some different, there's another one over here, so a bit of a pattern there. Sort of very black-green, certainly brown. And then my largest one is over here. That is on 20 centimetres. Nice one there. So I'll just have a look through the rest of this drawer. So that's my collection of Australian Haliotidae, and in fact, to my knowledge, I'm only missing one species. That's Ephilogus, which you find in southeast Queensland, and in fact, I'm going on a collecting trip there in about a month's time, so that is at the top of my list in terms of shells that I would like to collect. Now let's have a look at the rest of the world as far as abalones are concerned, and we can see some Beautiful shells there. Those colours are magnificent. Most of those shells there are from Mexico and the US. Beautiful black one there. Some lovely New Zealand shells there. I'll just scroll along, some South African shells there. It's a very beautiful one. That's been a very rare one in the past. You can get those fairly readily now. Porturima, certainly 10 years ago, that was a very rare, very difficult shell to collect. Well, I should say to purchase. And so, yeah, beautiful colours. The orange and the yellows, glorious. And then in the next drawer, continuation of abalone shells. Sorry if my fingers are getting in the way. The largest abalone shell you get is called Rothensis. And that's that one there. That is a little over 20 centimetres. They grow to 30 centimetres. So can you imagine that shell being 50% larger? Huge shell. Beautiful colours you get from that species. And discus there from, I think they're from Japan. There's a very well-known shell from New Zealand, iris. And it's, yeah, a little bit of notes there. I'll just focus that in. Tells us a little bit about that shell. Also from New Zealand, interestingly, and it's called Australis. Not a mistake in identification. It is Australis and it is from New Zealand. So, squamosa, get that in lovely colours. That's the only one I've got there. And that's a lovely one, Midday from South Africa. Often very encrusted in growths. I've had a good go at removing the growths there. It looks like I could have another little go at it and see if it comes up even cleaner. But originally it was completely white in growths. So, just one little one to look at down here from the Philippines, just showing another variety of the same shell. So I hope you enjoyed that look at Haliotidae with a bit of commentary. Thank you.